Welcome back to the deep dive. So if you do any kind of digital marketing, you've definitely run into this. It's that little bit of friction with the static add to calendar,
Oh, yeah.
that thing.
You know the one.
You click it, maybe download some weird file in a .ics or whatever. That might not even work right.
Half the time it doesn't, especially on mobile.
Right. And then after all that, you still get sent off to some other page, a
Yeah.
web form, just to say yes or no. It's completely broken, really.
It absolutely is. And that whole outdated process, it's causing just millions of bad data points, frustrating experiences every single month. Think about it. The user wants the event. They're showing high intent.
Yeah, they click the button.
Exactly. But the tech forces them through this multi-step chore. And what you get is often a wrong calendar entry, maybe duplicate events, and absolutely zero reliable info back for the marketer.
A total data vacuum.
Well,
So that's what we're diving into today, the fix for this mess. It's called the Calendar Invite Server, or CIS, messaging pipeline. And our mission here is to really get how this system chucks out that old click, download, form fill thing and replaces it with a proper, standards compliant calendar invite sent via a REST API, crucially.
And that API part is key because it sets up a direct two-way street for communication. You actually track what people do, those calendar receipts.
Okay, let's unpack this. So the big shift, the real difference between the old way and this new CIS approach, it seems to be all about what the attendee actually does. This battle card summary really nails it. It's going from high friction to, well, basically one click.
That's the heart of it strategically. The old way, like you said, a technical headache. Click a button, maybe specific to MailChimp or something, download a file. Hope it works on your phone or computer.
Yeah, hope is the operative word.
Right, and then go find that separate landing page. Ugh. With CIS, the system sends a real, actual calendar invite in real time. So the attendee, they just click once. Yes? No?
Yeah.
Maybe. Done.
Directly in their email client or their calendar app.
It's exactly native.
Right where they manage their schedule anyway. Yeah, Outlook, Google Calendar, Apple Calendar, wherever. Simple.
That simplicity feels like the key because it gets rid of that whole clunky web form thing in the middle.
It does.
And making it easy on the front end seems like it directly fixes the big problem on the back end, which is getting decent data.
Precisely. The old way. It was just this one-way data drop. You fill out the form, maybe, and that's it. Poof. No real connection, no ongoing channel.
Just a snapshot in time, if you even got that far.
Exactly. With CIS, the RSVP data collection is baked in. It's automatic, it's direct. Those yes, no, maybe clicks, we call them calendar receipts, they get sent straight from the person's calendar app back to the system's API gateway.
Okay, hold on. How does my Outlook or Google Calendar know to send that click back? Normally, when I accept an invite, it doesn't feel like it's pinging some third-party server. What's the tech that makes that two-way thing happen? Good question. That's where sticking to the universal IETF standards, the actual internet protocols for calendaring, makes all the difference. It's the technical breakthrough.
Okay.
When the system sends out the invite, that's the outbound processor we'll get to, it includes specific standard flags, things like part stat needs action and RSVP true.
Part stat.
Yeah, participant status.
Yeah.
Basically, these flags tell the recipient's calendar client, hey, this isn't just info, it's a request. You need to respond.
I see.
It forces the client to show those yes, no, maybe buttons. And critically, it tells the client where to send the response back to the server address that's embedded right in the invite data itself.
Got it. So those little technical flags are kind of the secret sauce. They guarantee the data flows back, turning a simple invite into like a live signal of what the person intends to do.
A live intent signal. That's a great way to put it.
So once that yes or no hits the gateway, where does it go? You need fast storage for that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You need speed and reliability. That receipt data lands in DynamoDB. Think of it like a super fast real-time database, a ledger almost. And then for longer-term storage in deeper analytics, it gets archived off to S3.
Okay.
And because it's continuous, that two-way channel stays open. So let's say someone clicks maybe initially, but then a week later, they firm things up and click yes.
The system sees that.
Instantly. That new receipt comes back through the gateway, the record in DynamoDB gets updated, logged, all in real time, ready for analytics.
Wow. That clarity, knowing how intent changes over time, that must be incredibly valuable. Okay, let's peek inside the engine now. You mentioned processors. The whole thing runs on 3 specialized ones. Where does it all start? Who kicks it off?
Yeah, 3 core processors, and the whole design philosophy is Minimal disruption for the event organizer. We call them Persona 1. They just use their normal calendar client, Google Calendar, Outlook, whatever they live in daily. They create the event, edit it, just like always.
So they don't need a new tool.
No new tool. That's crucial. To kick off the CIS process, they just send that initial calendar invite to a specific dedicated AWS SES email address, like create@calendarsnack.com or something similar for that event.
Just email it.
Just email it. That email address acts as the trigger, the front door for the inbound processor logic.
So instead of logging into some separate platform, the organizer just sends an email invite to this special address. That's it.
That's it. That's the step that avoids forcing new software on them. The inbound processor catches that email. It then sort of takes apart the event data, the date, time, location, description, attendees, everything, and stores it cleanly in the database. It marks it as a new event and gives it a unique ID linking the organizer's email to that specific event.
Okay.
And what's really neat is the organizer can keep editing the event in their calendar, hitting save as many times as they want before it's actually sent out via CIS. They can tweak the message, change the time, add a promo code.
And the inbound processor just keeps updating the stored version.
Exactly. It captures every change reliably until it's ready to go live.
That makes sense. Lots of flexibility there. Okay, so you've got the clean stored event data. How does that become, say, an RSVP button in an email template?
Yeah.
Or get sent out to a big list? That sounds like the outbound processor's job.
Precisely. This is the delivery mechanism. The outbound processor takes that clean stored data. Usually it gets triggered by hitting a specific send REST API endpoint.
An API call.
Right. It uses ETL functions, extract, transform, load, to basically pull the right data from DynamoDB, reassemble it perfectly into that standards-compliant invite format, with all the right flags.
The part stat and RSVP true thing.
Exactly those. And then it sends the final properly formatted invite using AWS SES RAW.
Why SES RAW specifically?
Control and deliverability. SES RAW gives us the fine-grained control needed to make absolutely sure those crucial IETF protocol headers and flags are embedded correctly, which is essential for the whole thing to work. Plus, you get high delivery rates.
Okay, that API endpoint sounds really powerful. You said it could power RSVP buttons in MailChimp? Or get embedded directly in web pages?
Yeah, or used for mass sending through some kind of interface, like a list picker. And also for transactional stuff, think about systems talking to people via calendar.
Like what?
Like maybe automatically putting an invoice due date on someone's calendar, or sending out reminders for, say, scheduled maintenance from a machine to a technician's calendar. It's machine-to-human communication, reliably.
Interesting. Okay, so the invite's out, people have clicked yes or maybe.
Yeah.
Now, inevitably, the organizer needs to change something. Webinar time shifts, promo code gets updated. That brings us to the update cancel processor.
Correct.
But I have to wonder, if the organizer is just editing away in their own calendar, doesn't automatically pushing out updates risk annoying people, like spamming everyone who already said yes? Is there a check on that?
That's a really important point. And yes, the system is designed to be smart about it. Minimize noise, maximize relevance. So the organizer updates their event in Google or Outlook. That change flows back through the inbound processor again, updating the master record. Then the update cancel processor logic kicks in. It automatically pushes the updated calendar invite, but, and this is key, only to the people who originally responded with yes or maybe.
So if you clicked no, you don't get bothered with updates.
Exactly. You're opted out of that specific event communication stream. It's elegant.
Okay, that makes sense.
Now, addressing your point about frequency, if an organizer knows they'll be making lots of small, potentially disruptive changes, there is an option, a switch for a manual approval workflow before updates go out.
Good to have that option.
Definitely. But strategically, that automated update function, it's powerful for more advanced uses. Think about extending communication over time, sequencing weekly or monthly brand events, maybe?
How would that work?
Well, say you're a SaaS company. You could send an initial invite for a welcome event. Then a week later, just by updating the same event in your calendar, maybe changing the date slightly, and updating the description with a new offer, you push that update out automatically to everyone who engaged initially. It keeps the conversation going on their calendar.
So the calendar invite becomes less of a static reminder and more like a dynamic channel.
Exactly. A recurring communication channel right on their calendar.
Let's shift perspective now to the organizer again, Persona 2. The material really stresses how simple their life remains, even after they've put these API codes everywhere on their website in emails. Their workflow still just revolves around their normal calendar client.
Yeah, and this really can't be emphasized enough. No new software to learn. That's huge for adoption. They manage everything creating, updating, even canceling from their familiar Google or Outlook calendar, and those updates push directly to customer calendars.
And it relies on that high reliability you mentioned.
Absolutely, because it's built on those rock-solid IETF protocols, not flaky.ics files. Those old files, they break all the time, especially across different devices and clients. Mobile is notorious. CIS ensures consistent performance whether the attendee is on Google, Microsoft, mobile, desktop. It just works.
We've touched on use cases, those API codes for email, CTAs, transactional stuff. But the NFL mini-site example, that sounds like a massive stress test. 272 games.
Oh, the NFL project was fascinating. It perfectly shows that fusion of time, intent, and commitment, but at an enormous scale. They started with just static schedule data, right? A list of games.
Yeah.
And they used CIS to turn that static list into living, automatically updating, standards-compliant calendar invites for millions of fans. Imagine the old way fans having to manually check websites for schedule changes, game time updates.
A nightmare.
This system pushed the updates directly to their calendars. Huge improvement.
That's a great illustration of what you call event enrichment. How did the system add value beyond just the basic time and place for each game?
Right. Enrichment is key. The system doesn't just schedule, it builds a persistent record for the fan. So for the NFL games, it enriched the basic data with context, team info, logos, maybe links to the team websites.
Okay.
It also grouped the games by week, helping fans follow the season's flow. But maybe the most valuable long-term piece was adding post-game results.
Wait, hold on. The score
Uh-huh.
in the calendar event after the game. How's that work?
Yeah. So the CIS platform can be configured to pull data from public APIs, like ESPN's API, for example. After the game finished, it would automatically update the calendar event description to include the final score and maybe some key stats.
Wow.
So the calendar event doesn't just vanish after the date passes, it becomes this lasting record. A fan could look back months later and see the result right there on their calendar for the game they, committed to follow. It gives the event enduring context and value.
That's really clever.
Yeah.
But managing all that, especially for a global audience like the NFL have, the time zones must have been critical to get right. Games are local U.S. times, fans are everywhere.
Oh, absolutely critical. Time zone drift is a classic calendar problem, especially with daylight saving time changes.
Yeah, DST is the worst.
Tell me about it. So CIS solves this elegantly. It persists all time data internally as UTC seconds, using the standard DT start 10 fields, but always in UTC, universal time.
The universal clock.
Exactly. This completely avoids DST issues and makes global display simple because the hard work, the calculation, is pushed to the end user's client.
Well, so.
When a fan in, say, London opens the invite for a game happening in Los Angeles, their calendar client, Outlook, Google, whatever, sees the UTC time, knows the fan's local time zone is London, and does the math perfectly to display the game time correctly for them. Reliable every time.
Okay, so you've got this enriched data, reliable time zones, and you're tracking the RSVPs. Put that all together, and you're building way more than just a reminder system. It sounds like a serious first-party data analytics layer.
That's precisely it. You're measuring real intent, which, as you know, is probably the most valuable signal you can get in marketing today.
Yeah.
You track those 4 states we talked about. No action, they got it but didn't respond yet, and then the clear signals, yes, no, maybe. It turns that simple calendar interaction into that live intent signal we mentioned.
And because of that two-way channel.
If a fan changes their mind, maybe they were a maybe for the game, but then their plans firm up and they switch to yes, that change flows back instantly. The record updates in real time. No manual syncing, no guesswork.
Which means the organizer, the brand, they aren't guessing based on clicks on some third-party platform. They own the actual engagement signal, the real data. That gives them huge clarity for follow-ups.
Huge clarity, operational clarity. They know exactly who's in, who's considering maybe, and who's out. No. This allows for incredibly precise segmentation for any follow-up messages, retargeting, whatever makes sense, all based on actual verified intent.
So let's wrap this up. We've seen how this CIS pipeline takes the basic functions we expect from any calendar system, create, read, update, delete, but it cleverly mimics them using embeddable API codes.
Right, codes you can put anywhere.
And the magic is that these codes don't just schedule things. They capture that direct user intent, the yes, no, maybe status, and maintain this reliable communication link all the way through the event's life.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, What this technology really does is take a digital interaction that most people just ignore or see as purely functional
Yeah, the calendar thing.
and transforms it into a serious engine for collecting first-party data. It's not just about making marketing smoother. It's about building these really trustworthy, persistent channels to communicate with customers and, crucially, understand their commitment level over time.
And it's clearly built for users who need that reliability and scale. You mentioned large digital marketing agencies needing that high-quality data.
Absolutely. Software OEMs, too. Imagine HubSpot or SAP using this for things like invoice due dates, where reliability is paramount.
Or even IP buyers, AWS partners, licensing the server tech itself.
Yeah, the ideal fit is anyone who needs to capture genuine user intent and absolutely requires that 100% reliable, standards-based push update right onto the customer's own device. That direct line is key.
Which really leaves us with a fascinating thought, something for you, the listener, to think about. If this simple thing, a basic calendar invite, something we all use every day without much thought, can be repurposed like this, harnessed to capture incredibly valuable first-party data, automate complex communications, track intent in real time. Well, what other simple digital things, mechanisms we currently treat as static or one-way, are just sitting there, waiting to be transformed into powerful tools for analytics and engagement?